Happy CPI day, traders and investors. Welcome back to Mr. Baker's channel for trading updated analysis. I hope you all had a great day. All the names we talked about yesterday absolutely took off. Today we will talk about what the market might do after such a big move. And once again, if you do enjoy today's content, please make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel because every day there's so much information that's valuable we want to share with you. Now, without any further ado, let's take it to the charts. So, why is he doing this? All right. So once again, I'll say this again. Every day, have your SPY, have your QQQ, the futures, and also the VIX on your chart. It will provide so much more clarity, whatever you're doing, whether you're a bull or a bear. This is a must-have on your screen. So we obviously knew. Yeah, I also wanted to talk about how clueless the bond market really is, right? Yields were rising, and the market was afraid of rate hike at this point, that there might not be any rate cut for 2025. But as we already know, evidently that's not the case. PPI cooled off, and also CPI did as well, and also UK's inflation dropped to the lowest level in a long time. So yeah, usually people think that the bond market knows way more about what's actually happening underneath the hood than the equity market. So, I really like this quote from Mark Douglas, who wrote a magnificent book of Trading in the Zone. The more you think you know, the less likely you will succeed in trading. That's very much true because you can never predict, right? As a trader, we're trading what's right in front of us. The market can be wrong half the time, but if you're wrong, the market is if you're right, the market is wrong, guess what? You're still losing money. So we always trade along with the market according to what we're seeing on the chart. All right, try not to predict anything. So if you were able to predict CPI print will be cooling off, congrats to you. Very nice gain. But as we are obviously also seeing that we are testing this trend lines resistance. So this would be the third the third touch point on this trend line. Obviously, a very good sell at the end of over the last half an hour of the trading. Right now, we of course can expect the market be cooling off after such a run after CPI. And what's more important is that we want to see. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a red day today. But what's more important is that we need to hold these levels. If we get down here, that's game over, right? I mean, it's possible that we will retest the 575 level once more, but at this rate, I mean, after such a run, I would say the market, if there's still strength in the market, we should be able to see the market kind of hold around this level, right? On these hourly major moving averages. Moving over to the futures, you can kind of see the same story as well. The volume is actually lower than the previous day where we had PPI. So yeah, I think as long as the futures over here can defend 100 days moving average, this thing is still looking pretty nice. And if we through the trend line, very likely we'll be making another new all-time high pretty soon. Also looking over at the VIX, what will give me the most comfort to actually full on go long in this market is that the VIX will have to take below this level. All right, to invalidate this potential head and shoulder, just drop below there and potentially get to below that level as well, below 14 points. Then that would be the ultimate signal that the market is ready to take up higher. Some of the names we talked about yesterday, Qualcomm being one of them. I'm out of the trade because obviously we know a cool off can be happening in the market in the next coming days. Also, my option contract was expiring this Friday. I was happy to go from $165 call option expiring in 3 days, went from $50 a contract to over $100 a contract. So very happy about that. But that is by no means saying that I think Qualcomm is done. I don't think so. I think there are absolutely more room for this name to run, right? Just looking at this 4 hour compared to some other names we saw yesterday, like Snowflakes, Gap Up Open, but sell pretty badly towards the end. I think Qualcomm is holding very nicely, just as ARM and also AMD. Yeah, Semi is looking really, really good. Obviously, Qualcomm Gap Up went over to test the 200 days moving average, and with very good determining volume down here, right? So we already talked about the rationale of me opening a small position on Qualcomm in our previous video. If you haven't checked that out, go have a look. It will provide a lot of information. If the same or similar setup happening again, you know what to do. And obviously, we talked about Caterpillar. This is really like if you want to see the start of a trend, I think hourly and 2 hour time frame is going to be providing you a lot of clarity going into, because we obviously see a big, like someone big just came into this market to defend this zone around $350, and there's no selling. And you already know we talk about this a lot on the channel. If there's no sellers, the buyer will just jump back in, right? Sure enough, when like this, like during the first hour and the very weak selling, that is profit taking. Some of the guys that bought intraday, some of the guys that bought at the dip, right? They're taking their profit off the table partially, and then giving another, chance for other investor and traders to get back into this market. And CPI, wow, what a great move, right? I'm also seeing very similar setup with Palantir, because when CPI is so cool, you really want to place your focus on small cap rather than large cap. I mean, they're still very nice, but the sole beneficiary, I mean, the names that have been beaten down in the Russell after such a CPI print would really gain so much attention going forward. So this is like the same replicable kind of setup as we just saw with Caterpillar. Yeah, so Palantir is also looking very nice. If you want to go over to 2 hours, we seem to hit resistance over here. To take this name higher, I mean, obviously we still close way above this moving average. We may have a retest around this level, but as long as we don't drop to around $65, this thing is still looking pretty nice. Also, we wanted to talk about Semi, because Semi, in my opinion, still kind of, I wouldn't say undervalued, but there are really good opportunities that we really can be considering taking, right? What do you see on SMH? Obviously, higher highs and higher lows. There's nothing much to report here. If we can get around $262, I think that would send AMD to close to $130 and potentially making all-time high for NVIDIA, and obviously new high for the market as well. So right now, looking pretty nice on 2 hour and 1 hour time frame. This is the kind of the early sign of an uptrend that we usually see in the market. Look at that, crypto is dropping. Who knows what's going to happen today, right? But today is going to matter, right? And also Friday is going to be OPEX, large transactions, so many option contracts that will expire, and usually we can expect a big move. And also, as I recall, the market is closed on Monday next week, so a lot of transaction will happen on Friday. So keep your eye out. Make sure you are controlling your risk, but in the meantime, be optimistic, because right now we're looking pretty good, right? Um, Also, I guess another thing I wanted to talk about is that when you see yields rising, but staple is not getting the love that it deserves. Usually, when the market is really crashing, staple will go up and healthcare will go up, but that's not the case. But I think for most investors, it's always good to have some staple, some utility, and also some healthcare as a part of your portfolio. You can always rebalance it, given what you're seeing in the market at current time, because you never really want to leave these things out, right? If it doesn't make sense for you to own any consumer staple, you probably just want to have around 3 to 5% within your portfolio. When the times are really bad, you might want to rebalance it to like 15 to 20%, depending on your risk appetite. So yeah, what I'm getting at is I'm looking at Walmart, obviously not getting the same kind of love as other big tech names have gotten in over the last 48 hours. But Walmart is looking good to me because I think it's on its way to make another all-time high. We've been defending this Fibonacci, obviously on a 4-hour time frame. We are still making higher highs and higher lows. We were able to defend this low around $90.45, and going over to daily, still looking pretty sweet, right? We dropped down here, obviously defended this level, and the very next day we failed to make another lower low compared to this candle here, and we went up, obviously not ready to take out that 20 days moving average just yet, but with volume 17.35 million as compared to 13.55 previously, I think this is looking good. And just keep that in mind that on weekly we actually closed very nice last week. So this week, the weekly close is going to provide you with a lot of details that you have to check at the end of the week. All right. Whether that's going to be like 2 hours and everything just looks kind of good. But if we take out this level of $90.57, you want to consider getting out. Right. So overall, today, Palantir, obviously some small cap names like Robinhood, if you want to chase, make sure you have your stop loss accordingly because I think it just made all-time high today. Qualcomm, obviously looking very nice. ARM, I don't even want to go over to ARM because ARM is just great. Go for it. Right now, the risk reward is not that great just because it just moved by 5% in the previous session. But AMD has shown some life, sign of life, and also the entire market is looking pretty good. But once again, in order for me to have the full confidence to go long, full long in the market, the VIX has to take out this level here. All right, guys. So that's a wrap. Once again, this is not any financial advice. Please make sure you do whatever feels comfortable. I'm just providing with what I'm seeing in the market. You can take these trades if you like, but please make sure you control your risk accordingly. So very good day yesterday. Let's see what market will bring today, and then we will see you again for Thursday and also Friday, and then providing you with more update at the end of the week of what the market looks like and what kind of preparation we can make for the market going forward for the next couple weeks. Until then, bye for now.